Michelle's Seat at the Table is a podcast about leadership, community, and the conversations that shape us. This is a space for those navigating the complexities of leading teams and building communities. So whether you're finding your voice, building a team, or simply looking for a place where you belong, there's a seat here for you. Pull up a chair and join me, your host, Michelle Radney, at the table. Welcome back to Michelle's Seat at the Table. I'm your host, Michelle, and today is a special one. This is our season 1 finale. Today makes 10 episodes, a full season. And to be honest with you, when I sat down to record episode 1, I wasn't sure what this was going to become. But you showed up week after week. You pulled up a chair, you listened, and that means the world to me. Today, I'm going to do something a little different. We're going back to the table, all of it, every conversation, every episode, every moment that made me stop, take a breath, and think, yes, this is why I started this podcast. So today, I'm recapping season 1, all 9 episodes before this one, and I promise you, whether you've heard every single one or you're just catching up now, there's something here for you. So let's get into it. Episode 1. Am I really ready for this? I started exactly where I think all great journeys begin, with a question. Episode 1 was a monologue, just me and you, and the question I'd been sitting with for a long time. Am I really ready for this? And here's what I've learned since recording that episode. Readiness is rarely a feeling that you wake up with. Most of the time, you have to decide to be ready. You have to choose to take the leap. I shared one of my many, many stories in that episode, and I hope if you heard it, it gave you perspective that timing is everything. Episode number 2, the masks we wear. That was one of my most personal episodes of this season. Another solo conversation, another invitation to delve deeper. I talked about the masks we wear, the mask I wear, the I have it all together mask, the mask that says, I don't need help. I don't have any doubts. I know exactly what I'm doing. Many of us, especially those who spent years in corporate environments, have become experts of wearing those masks so well that sometimes we forget they're even on. This episode is about taking them off, or at least acknowledging that they even exist. Because authenticity, that's where the real conversation and real connection lives. That's where real leadership lives. Episode 3, Cooking with Courage with Chef Angie Shigagi. Episode 3 brought my very first guest to the table, the incredible Chef Angie. And let me tell you, this conversation had so much more than recipes. Chef Angie brought energy and perspective about what it means to pursue something you love with your whole heart, even if the path isn't straight. We talked about courage, the everyday kind, the kind that says, I'm going to show up and try this even when it's uncomfortable. Chef Angie is proof that when passion meets discipline, something extraordinary gets created. Episode 4, Mindfulness equals Better Leaders with Michael O'Brien. And before you tune out, thinking this is all about meditation and breathing exercise, let me stop you right there. Michael connects mindfulness directly to leadership, performance, and he does it in a way that's practical, grounded, and real. He also talked about his experience of being the only in the room. Michael's perspective reminded me that how we show up mentally and emotionally is just as strategic as any business decision we make. Episode 5, Beyond Titles with Suzette Yasmin Robotham. Oh, episode 5. Suzette came to the table and we went beyond. I mean, beyond titles, beyond job descriptions, beyond roles that we've been handed or ones that we've been working hard toward. This conversation was about identity, about who you are when you strip away the corner office, the title, or the business card. We discussed her journey to authorship as well as recent data on the impact of code switching in the workplace, authentic leadership and how it shows up on the bottom line, and on organizational financial outcomes. Episode 6, mentors give you a map and sponsors give you a seat. This was another monologue. It was just me, and honestly, one of the episodes that I'm most proud of this season. I want people to understand this distinction because it matters. Mentors guide, sponsors advocate. Both are essential to career growth and progression. Mentors help you figure out the path, and sponsors, they open the door and they say, she belongs in this room. Both are powerful, both are necessary, but we talk about mentorship all the time. We don't talk about sponsorship nearly enough. And if you're in a position to sponsor or mentor someone, I hope this episode inspired you to step up and do it. Episode 7, The Power of Mentorship with Kimberly Hairston Hicks. This conversation was rich, it was warm, and full of real-world wisdom about what mentorship actually looks like in practice. Not the idealized version, but the honest, sometimes messy, and always meaningful version. Kimberly has walked this journey from both sides as someone who is mentored and someone who has invested and continues to invest in others. Hearing her perspective reminded me that mentorship is one of the most generous things a person can offer. Time, wisdom, and a willingness to say, let me help you. Episode 8, The Art of Negotiation, Part 1 with Marcia Speed. Part 1 of what became one of the most practical and empowering conversations of the season. Marcia brought serious expertise on negotiation, and in Part 1, we laid the foundation. We talked about mindset, preparation, and why so many of us, especially women, hesitate to negotiate at all. Marcia has a way of making you feel like, I can do this. She demystifies negotiation and reframes it as not a battle, but a conversation, one that you are allowed to have and one that you deserve to have. Episode 9, which was Part 2 of The Art of Negotiation with Marcia Speed. In Part 2, we went deeper into tactics, real scenarios, and the kinds of moments that can change the trajectory of your career or your business. We talked about knowing your worth and being bold enough to say it out loud. We talked about what happens when there's pushback and how to hold your ground with grace. If there's one thing Marcia left us with, it's this. Negotiation is a skill, and skills can be learned, and you are not behind. What a season! To Chef Angie, to Michael, to Suzette, to Kimberly, and to Marcia, thank you. Thank you for trusting this table. Thank you for showing up and giving generously of your time, your stories, and your wisdom. And to each of you, my listeners, my community, the people who pressed play on episode 1 and stayed all the way through. This podcast exists because of you. And at the time of this recording, the podcast has close to 1,700 listens. 1,700. Every share, every comment, every DM, every text that you said, I really needed to hear that today. Or just a text that said, great episode. You have no idea what that has done and does for my spirit and my confidence. You keep me going. You remind me why the seat at the table matters. So thank you. I started this journey asking, am I really ready for this? And because of you, the answer is a resounding yes. I know some of you are wondering, what's next? Well, let me say, season 2 is coming, and it's going to be even richer, even bolder, even more focused on you, your growth, your leadership, your seat at whatever table you are claiming. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen. Follow me on social media so you don't miss a single announcement. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a few bonus chats during the break. As always, tell a friend, because the best thing you can do for a show that you love is to share it. I'd love to hear from you. You can email me, Michelle@MichelleSeatAtTheTable, with your ideas, your feedback, questions, or topics that you'd like to hear more of. Until then, I want to leave you with this. Every single episode this season, from me asking if I was ready to the art of negotiation, all of it has been pointing to one truth. You belong at the table. You've always belonged at the table. And if no one has offered you a seat, then I'm here to tell you, pull up your own chair. I'm Michelle Radney. This has been season 1 of Michelle's Seat at the Table. Thank you for being here. Thank you for growing with me. I'll see you in season 2. Keep leading, keep growing, and making room for others at the table.